Hi, I'm Vanessa with Ellie and Mac, and we're going to be sewing up 5 shirts in 5 days using 5 different patterns. And I'm going to be showing you all my tips and tricks for the best results. This is far beyond basic tees. Let's get to my sewing room. So today we're going to be making the everyday tee. This tee has been in Ellie Max patterns for quite some time, and it is a good one. I'm going to show you how to make the fit perfect and how to shorten the length so it fits for your style today. Let's get
I
started.
love the everyday tee. It's such a fast sew, but it is a little longer. It was made during the time where we were walking around in leggings. So I like to cut it right when it starts to curve down at the hem, straight across. This will give me a high hip hemline, and I really like that. So if you're getting gaping at your upper bust from your underarm, an easy quick trick to fix that is you're going to take a quilting square and you're going to angle it 1 inch at the top, and then you're going to cut it at a diagonal, and then when you hem it, it's going to sit higher up on the shoulder and it will no longer pull at your upper bust. This is one of my favorite things about dolmans. There's no sleeves to insert, so once you cut out your bodice and your back, you're halfway there to having a shirt. So now that we're at the back of the shirt, I'm going to cut straight across at the curve hem again. But again, I'm trying to add as much shape to this as possible. So instead of cutting this shirt just regularly along the back line or on the fold, I'm actually going to do a sway back adjustment. And this is just where you're standing up straight. Your back kind of curves in at the small of your back. And so we're just going to add a little curve here, and then it's going to add big shape later. And then I'm also going to adjust the back sleeve as well, so it is even on both sides. I count day one as a total success. I love the shorter sleeves on the dolman top, as well as the shorter hem and the sway back adjustment. This makes the everyday tee one of my favorite shirts.
All right. Day 2, and today we'll be working on the Slow Sunday top and dress. We're going to be making the top today, and this pattern is so flattering. I love the shape of it. It comes in at the ribs and then it slowly comes out, giving the perfect shape to everyone. I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect neckband today every single time. Let's get to the cutting table.
I want to give you a close-up of this pattern. Look at the beautiful shape and how it comes out at the waist down to the hips. There's also a curved hem and 3 neck options: a V-neck, a scoop, and a high neck, as well as a razor back option as well. Now I'm cutting this neckband on fold, and let me tell you, one of my best secrets that I can tell you is to cut all neckbands at 2 inches. This neckband is 1 inch and 3/4, but having that extra 1/4 helps me not have the rolling fabric and be able to control it and have much evener neckbands every single time. I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to fold it over with outside fabric on the outside. And then I'm going to take my other end of my neckband and I'm going to put right sides together and fold over. And then I'm going to serge this down, and then I can turn it out and have a finished neckband. Once I pull my neckband right sides out, now it's time to clip it. So I'm going to take that neckband seam and I'm going to line it up with the back seam, and then I'm going to just quarter my neckband like normal. I like to quarter my neckband and then quarter my shirt, and then put those 2 clips together to find the sides of my shirt. Once all clipped, it's time to take it to the serger. So here's my biggest tip for an even neckband. Instead of looking at the right, trying to gauge how much to cut off, I actually look at the bar, and that's where I line up my shirt, because that's what's on the outside that everyone's going to be looking at. So I evenly put my shirt in, and then I gauge it with that metal bar, and I keep going all the way around. Make sure that you have your neckband facing up. Do not try to do this with your neckband facing down. I'm going to continue going all the way around my shirt, easing and stretching on my neckband. This 2-inch neckband actually helps me so much right here. It gives me a little bit more thickness to work with, and so any rolling I can easily cut off. So those are my biggest tips for the neckband. Day 2, and perfect neckband, check. I love this Slow Sunday. I hope you give it a try as a top. It is perfect.
Day 3, and today we'll be working on the Jessica. The Jessica not only has two different top options with a sway back or regular, it also has a dress. I love this pattern. I'm actually wearing it right now. It's a mid-arm sleeve, and today I'm going to be showing you how to mark the sleeves and inset it and then sew around it as well as hemming it. So we're all about the arm circles today. Let's get to the cutting table.
So here I am again with my handy quilting square. I love this tool. I'm cutting straight across at the short sleeve, and then I'm cutting out these little triangles. These help you hem. So when you fold it up 1 inch, it will match. Now if you're going to mark one side of your shirt, always mark the front side. This is a huge triangle that I'm cutting here. But the huge triangle helps me remember that that is the front of the sleeve, and I can keep oriented the whole way through the sew. And to get both sides mirrored, I have the fabric on the fold. You tell I love a rib knit. With the outside fabric together, now I have the inside fabric on the outside, and I'm just going to serge along trying to keep that triangle at the end. Now with your shirt inside out, you're going to turn your sleeve right side out. And then you're going to put the right side out inside the arm circle. This way you have right sides together on the inside. And as I'm clipping, you can see that big triangle is hanging out the front side of my sleeve. Now I'm going to be clipping at the bottom of the sleeve where the seams match, as well as the top and throughout the side. So I have 4 clips on this in total. Next, I'm going to take this over to the serger, and I'm going to start where those seams match at the underarm of the shirt. Now, after I've serged the edges of my sleeve, I'm going to roll them up 1 inch. What helps me is a hem gauge, and so I'm going to measure it at the middle and around the sides and make sure that I have 1 inch all the way around. And then after this, I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to iron in that 1 inch seam. At my sewing machine, I'm using a lightning stitch elongated to 5 millimeters. Now I'm hemming it at 3/4 of an inch to make sure that I stay on the serge, and I'm making sure that my tension on my machine is turned a little lower. I'm going to be showing you a little bit more about the tension on the machines a little bit later. The Jessica is one of my favorite tee patterns. It's so comfortable and it fits fantastic. I love these sleeves. I love the 1 inch hem, as well as I love how it lines up perfectly under the underarm.
All right. Day 4 of our t-shirt making. We're going to be making the Lisa bubble hem top. Now this top is such a cute top. It's really great for those who don't know if they want to tuck their whole shirt in, tuck the center. This has elastic at the waist, and what it does is it helps it tuck in and then give you that really cute flow of the fabric. But one thing I like to watch out for this on this pattern, and anytime I hem, is getting that ripples in my hem. So today we're going to be covering how to avoid that. And my first tip in how to avoid that is to pick fabric that's a little bit more of a sturdier knit. I think DVP does work amazing for this, but you don't want to use something like rayon spandex because it has a tendency to grow, and it also has a tendency to ripple because the tension might be a little bit higher. So we're going to avoid that today. I'm picking this, I love this fabric. It has these like little polka dot textures to it. So we're going to be using this fabric. It's a little bit sturdier. The stretch is not fantastic. So I'm going to use a rib knit for the neckline to help out, but this is going to work perfect for this pattern. Let's get to my cutting table.
First step in the perfect hem is to serge all around the raw edges of the shirt. Again, with my hem measuring guide, I'm going to measure 1 inch, and then I'm going to spray and iron down the hemline. This fabric is not staying really well with the ironing, so I am going to add some clips here so I can top stitch this. On the machine I normally use, it has an accutension, meaning that it can decide the tension on its own. And I normally do a lightning stitch, and I elongate this stitch as long as I can get it, and that's usually at 5 millimeters for any hemline. You can also use a zigzag stitch, but I do suggest elongating the stitch as well. Now with this machine, if I go too fast with thin fabric, I've noticed that I can get rippling. So if you do have the accutension on your machine, make sure that you just lower down the speed a little bit, and it will help you out quite a bit. The next 2 machines I'll show you are the different places for the tension. When you're using knit fabric, you want to lower it down to like a 1 or a 2, and this will also help with the rippling in the fabric when you're sewing that hemline. Now it's time to sew my hemline. Again, I'm sewing this at the 3/4 line just so I can make sure that I'm on that serge. And then this is actually what's going to create the casing for the Lisa bubble hem. But it's also a really great technique to use just when you're doing a hemline. The steps are exactly the same and you can use it on any shirt to get the perfect stitches. So I'm kind of an elastic hoarder. So I'm going to use this elastic. It's about a 1/2 inch elastic and I just want to try it on my waist where it's going to sit so it's not going to be too tight. I cut my elastic and it's time to feed it through that casing that we just made. And just like any casing, I'm just going to use my safety pin and move right along. Once I have both ends of my elastic out, now it's time to just sew my elastic together and then sew the hole closed. And this shirt is done. Yep, it's official. I'm going to need 10 of these. I love how this turned out. It's such a cute top with such an unexpected detail with that gathered hem bottom.
Okay, day 5, and if you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Today we're going to be doing a boat neck. We're going to be taking the Wrapped in Love shirt and dress and we're going to be combining it with the Jessica. So we're going to be making a boat neck t-shirt and I'm going to show you how to do elastic in the neckband so you don't have to line it. This is going to be a shirt that you will love with jeans or with a skirt. It'll be perfect for every day. Let's get back to the cutting table.
At this point, you can sew a whole shirt perfectly. Now we're going to have a little fun. So this is the Wrapped in Love bodice, and it comes to your natural waist. So we're going to elongate that. So I'm going to cut the neckline out on the fold, and then I'm going to cut the shoulders and down the arm circle. But I'm going to stop at the end of the arm circle, and then I'm going to take the back of the Jessica, and I'm going to move it so it lines up at the arm circle, and then cut out the rest of the Jessica shirt. This is so your sleeves match, but your shirt has a little bit more width. Once I have my front done, I'm going to lay it right sides together and I'm going to cut out the back piece just the same as the front. Since I'm not lining this, I'm going to use elastic for the neckband. This one is a Picot elastic, and I'm just going to start my elastic first, and then I'm not going to pull on it and gently attach it on to the front of my shirt once I have my shoulder seams closed. I have this on the right side of my fabric. If you'd like to do a non-decorative elastic, you can sew it onto the inside. And then I flip the elastic over, and now I'm going to be top stitching it down, and you can see that cute little lace that's going to be sticking out at the neckline of my shirt. So I'm so excited for this. It looks so darling, and I actually did the same thing on the sleeves of this top. Look how nice and delicate that top of the shirt looks. I love this hack. It's my favorite. I love a bottleneck with jeans, and this one is so adorable. I love the feminine detail around the neckline and the arms. The Wrapped in Love is just a beautiful pattern.
Thanks so much for watching. A like and subscribe would be amazing. Make sure you put in the comments what shirt you're excited to make. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day.